Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Very eventful day yesterday in the gaming news. So we have a lot to get into, but before we do, make sure to hit that subscribe button, especially if you are one of the people who keep coming back, not hitting the subscribe. I think there's like 50% of you or so. Would appreciate that. And if you do like Spotify, make sure to check out the link to my Spotify. Link is in the description. But let's start off here. Microsoft has an Xbox. They have struck a deal for some new Game Pass games that will be heading over to the platform. And pretty exciting, especially if you're a fan of these games or if this is a genre that you haven't tried out yet, but I've been looking to get into this, which is kind of like Souls-like as well as a sniper game. So there is a new Game Pass deal here that is seemingly going to be announced relatively soon. This is according to a new post on bankier.pl and was first spotted by Clobro that Lords of the Fallen and Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2 are coming over to Xbox Game Pass. As Bankier's report, loosely translated into English, does not mention a concrete date for the Game Pass release. However, it does line up with last week's rumors about Lords of the Fallen possibly coming to Xbox Game Pass in the final week of May 2024. And the new report only says that CI Games landed an agreement with Microsoft to provide the two games in the Game Pass program conducted by Microsoft in year 2024. So no official date, but my guess would be that they are bringing these in here for the second half of May. We're probably going to be able to play these games within the Xbox Game Pass service. And it makes complete sense. This is a good deal. This is something that will get people excited when they do announce these coming over to Xbox Game Pass. And it makes sense because we're going into June. And June is showcase season. We are going to get a ton of announcements for Xbox. And the second half of this year is seemingly just extremely loaded with first-party content, plus whatever surprises they're probably going to have up their sleeves of third-party games coming over to Xbox Game Pass. So this is kind of filling in for May, and then June's going to come, and I'm sure we're going to have tons of announcements and things to look forward to. It's almost like they've backloaded this year, and that's probably just kind of how the release schedule has happened with delays and development cycles and things like that. But you got to ask yourself, when is Xbox going to really get into that game every single quarter so that there really is no lull in the Xbox Game Pass service? The last announcement wasn't that great. I mean, overall this year, it's still been a great amount of releases for Xbox Game Pass, lots of great stuff to play. But I think because they have so many games coming out, they're all backloaded. At some point, we are going to eventually see that kind of level out, and we're going to have constant first-party games going into Game Pass, as well as these big third-party deals at the same time, spread out evenly throughout a year. I'm thinking maybe 2025 may be that year, especially with ABK going to be under their belt now for at least a year. All of those things will be worked out. There's probably going to be bunch of Game Pass announcements from ABK at this June showcase. So it's very exciting time. I know there's been a lot of talk of people switching consoles and Xbox going away and all of this type of stuff. But the reality is, no matter where they put their games, the Xbox Game Pass ecosystem and the Xbox Game Pass platform and just the Xbox playing your games wherever you want is going to be phenomenal now for going forward into the future. But looking forward to these two when they do eventually announce them officially for Xbox Game Pass. All right, let's talk about the thing that has been dominating the news. This happened, it was at 12 a.m. my time, so Eastern Standard Time, 12 a.m. last night. I was asleep, and I had already created my video talking about the whole thing going on with Helldivers 2, which happened over the weekend with them having to make you make a PSN account to play this game. This was going to cut out a bunch of countries that you can't even access PSN. And at the same time, it pissed off the PC gamers to such an extent that they had over 200,000 negative reviews come in for Helldivers 2 and essentially had ruined the game for a lot of people because it was good. It was in a place where it was doing very well. There's only positive things being said about it. But then this happened because of PlayStation and everything went to shit. But because gamers spoke up and because people stood up for what they wanted, what they believed in, the gamers won, and PlayStation reversed their decision on having to make a PSN account if you are on PC for Helldivers 2. So PlayStation puts this out. Helldivers fans, we've heard your feedback on the Helldivers 2 account linking update. The May 6 update, which would have required Steam and PlayStation Network account linking for new players and for current players beginning May 30th, will not be moving forward. They say this here. Now, this part I think is complete BS, but they say, we're still learning what is best for PC players, and your feedback has been invaluable. Thank you again for your continued support of Helldivers 2, and we'll keep you updated on future plans. Now, I think that is complete BS. Them coming out and saying we're learning about what PC gamers want. What happened was enough people spoke up. It was definitely affecting the game because people couldn't access it in other regions, and people were getting refunds. Steam was giving refunds to players. So there was definitely a monetary hit of some sort here with Helldivers 2, or at least they projected a huge monetary hit if this was going to go through, of people not wanting to play. So they came back and they reversed their decision. And I think it's great they reversed their decision. I just think the whole learning about PC players thing is a whole load of crap, because I mean, the main reason they said they were making people sign up for PSN on PC was for security reasons, which again, some more BS in my opinion, mainly because you look at PSN and you look at the amount of times they've been hacked. Some of the worst security in gaming is on your PlayStation account. So I don't know how they would ever use that as a reason to get people to make a PSN, and why anybody would want to if they don't have to is the reason why people were outraged about this. So they turned it around, and then we quickly saw a reversal. We had over 100k positive reviews here for the game, and everything is seemingly now saved because they did this. And this is a great story. This is kind of reminding me of what the Xbox Live Gold, when the gamers spoke up about the price raise, and within 24 hours or even maybe under 24 hours, Xbox came back and reversed their decision with raising the prices of Xbox Live Gold. So gamers speak up when there's things that obviously they don't want, things that really don't make any sense, and these companies will listen. It really does tell you that if there is something serious enough here that you don't want happening, I guess speaking up is going to make change. If you can affect their bottom line enough, if you can affect the overall success of an IP of a product, they will go back on the decision that they made. So great to see this, and I think it's going to be extremely interesting going forward as PlayStation tries to expand out into PC more, because I think even though they reversed their decision, this is going to have some sort of lasting effect. People aren't going to trust them as much. They're obviously gearing up to make a PC launcher. I mean, I think that's what their whole goal is. They want to get people into their ecosystem on PC with a new launcher that they are going to be releasing at some point in the future, and kind of follow the Xbox strategy, because it's kind of what they've been doing this whole generation as they've been expanding out and putting games onto more devices, which I think is good. But now the question is, are people going to want to sign up for that PlayStation PC launcher after this whole debacle? So we'll wait and see, but it's good they turned it around, and great for Arrowhead, because Helldivers 2 is a good game, and they deserved the success that they have so far for this game. And if it wasn't for being under PlayStation, then this probably would have never happened. So happy to see that everything is working out. Okay, let's talk about the Xbox showcase coming up, because we were just talking about it. It is going to be huge. We have Jess Corden here asking people if they could pick one game, what would they want to see most at this year's Xbox Showcase 2024? And there's a lot of discussions here. People want to see State of Decay, Gears, Perfect Dark, even maybe Everwild. I mean, who knows? Fable. Like, there are so many games that are coming out from Xbox that people want to see, but it's seemingly going to be very exciting. And one of the games that I really want to see, on top of Gears, which is my most hyped game, is State of Decay 3. I think State of Decay 2 is really good. And now that they have a big budget and a big company backing them to kind of go out there and really expand their vision, I think State of Decay 3 could be absolutely incredible. And Jess Corden says here, to add to my reply to the State of Decay 3, the coalition has been working with Undead Labs, sharing tools from Gears and beyond. Hyped to see what they pull off. State has always been amazing conceptually, with tech and budget to match it could be truly groundbreaking. So that's very exciting, because you're going to have, I would say, a studio in the coalition that probably puts out the most polished titles at Xbox, or at least up there. I mean, you look at Gears and how good it looks. It's very well optimized. Whether you like their work on Gears or not, overall, the product itself just from a QA perspective, has always been very good. And if they're going to lend their expertise to Undead Labs, I can see it doing great things. And how they expand out that universe, how they make more people come into play is very exciting. So the Xbox Showcase, we're going to have a ton of hype for it now leading up to it. And it could be, well, I mean, it is going to be the biggest showcase that they have ever done. They're bringing in ABK, they're bringing in Bethesda, they're bringing in all the other Xbox first-party studios. It could shape up to just be mind-blowing. And on top of that, maybe they will be talking about some hardware of the future, whether that is the digital Xbox Series X, which we've kind of already seen leaked, the white version, or maybe they will eventually end up talking about their handheld that potentially could be in the works. All of these things could be revealed at the showcase. So I am extremely excited to see what could happen. And I mean, there's so many games. You think about Clockwork Revolution, which also looks incredible. And then he also says, we'll also love one more thing, type surprises. Heard Microsoft is very confident in their lineup for the showcase and beyond too. So Microsoft is going into this very, very confident, which I'm not surprised based off of the amount of IPs that they do have. All right, let's jump over here. Let's talk about Final Fantasy 14 because they've been hit with a DDoS attack. This is from a new post on the Lodestone today. A DDoS attack is causing the serious network technical issues affecting Final Fantasy 14. So if you are playing this game, I'm not sure if they've been fixed or not yet, or if you've been trying to log in and you're wondering what is going on, this could be it. It says, following the attack, players are getting disconnected from data center worlds and unable to log into them. There are also issues accessing, sending, and receiving data from Japan, North America, Europe, and OC data servers. And the scope of the issue concerns many fans, but in today's post, Square Enix does reassure players that they are investigating the attack and taking countermeasures. And we know that this game just recently launched onto the Xbox platform, so this is going to affect everybody no matter where they are. And I wonder how long it's going to take to get fixed, because as of this post here, they do say that there is no elaboration on the identity of the attacker or any progress in resolving the issue. So if you've been playing this game and you're wondering what is going on, this is the issue right now going on with Final Fantasy 14. Okay, we're gonna keep talking about PS5 Pro because they haven't announced it yet. It is going to be announced this year more likely than not, and it is going to be released this year. And now we have the GPU details leak. Now we have seen previous leaks of the PS5 Pro GPU, and the GPU was the more impressive part of this console upgrade versus the CPU. It's sounding more and more like this thing is really not that massive of an upgrade, to be honest, though, because we do have this here. It says, according to Digital Foundry, the PS5 Pro GPU will have a clock speed of 2.18 gigahertz with a boost speed of up to 2.35 gigahertz. The cache of the GPU sees the L1 cache double down from 128 KB to 256 KB, and the L0 cache doubles from 16 KB to 32 KB, both being down to accommodate higher ray tracing performance. Now, in addition to the clock speeds and the caching, the PS5 Pro GPU will include new DirectX 12 Ultimate features such as support for variable rate shading and hybrid MSAA, and overall the system should provide a 45% performance boost to the game. So that's the new information we do have about the PlayStation 5 GPU, and overall the 45% performance boost on the GPU side is kind of what we've already heard about. The question is the CPU going to make a big difference? Because it does really look like they're mainly going for, with the PS5 Pro, is improved ray tracing. And how much of a steady performance are you going to get with improved ray tracing? The reality is, in today's console gaming atmosphere, people want 60 FPS, and that's always going to be something that they really don't want to compromise anymore on. You see a lot of the outrage about it. People are going to choose performance modes over the graphical modes. They're going to choose performance mode over the ray tracing. So you would think with new consoles and these games that are coming out, developers would be making sure that their games have a 60 FPS mode in them. Even if the game doesn't look as sharp as if you were to play in 30 FPS, people would still rather play with 60 FPS. And I think that's been proven. So going forward, if you're making a new console, if you're making a pro console, you just really need to optimize for 60 frames per second. It will satisfy, I think, more people than adding in ray tracing, where a lot of people may not even notice that big of a difference when they are playing the games. But the PS5 Pro needs to be announced soon. It probably will be announced this summer. There have been rumors about a PlayStation showcase. We don't know yet, but I'm assuming they will have something. They're not going to go quiet this summer. I mean, that would be pretty crazy with all these rumors going around. Now, we talked about Resident Evil 9 yesterday, and We have a bit more information. It's obviously a rumor, so take it with a grain of salt, but Resident Evil's 9 location could be set on an island, it is claimed. So this is from Dusk Golem, who is back with some more claims saying that players can expect the game's location, according to the known leaker, that it will be set in a fictional town on an island in Southeast Asia. So, I mean, sounds cool. I don't really have any big feelings about that, but specifically they are saying it's inspired by Singapore, which is pretty cool. It is a game that I'm very much looking forward to. I was a big fan of 7, 8, and I've played all the older Resident Evil games. And they're saying this is about a 6 to 7 year development cycle, their biggest game ever. I think Resident Evil 9 is going to be absolutely crazy, and Capcom hasn't missed. So Resident Evil 9 is a game that I have up there at the top of my list as one of the most anticipated games going into 2025. But I'm going to end the video there, guys. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you are new here, hit that subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next video.